Welcome to the first ever Boring Freshman podcast. I'm your host, Cash Evans.
I'm Elias Hansen.
I'm Paul Barker.
I'm Stoking Band.
All right. This is going to be the main crew for this new YouTube channel. All right.
Anthony sometimes too. Anthony's gonna be here sometimes.
Anthony DiVirgilio sometimes.
NK.
So, this channel is going to be mainly focused on sports. So, since we're talking about sports, let's get into the first topic. Vikings versus Bills. Game of the year? Question mark.
Game of the year.
I mean, who would have thought that this would have happened between these two teams? Who would have thought the Vikings would have come out on top?
I mean, Elias did. Elias predicted last week.
Exactly. Can we? Is it reasonable to put out the argument that Josh Allen is a potential fraud?
He might be. He
doesn't have the clutch gene in him. I was trying to say this.
Exactly.
Paul, read what you said earlier.
I have a crazy stat on this actually that I said. Hold on, watch. In OT, in overtime, he is 0 for 5 when it comes to clutch big
In his
games.
career.
In his career, 0 for 4.
0 for 5.
And 2019 AFC wildcard round, he lost to the Texans. 2021 Week 14, he lost against the Bucks. 2021 AFC divisional round, he lost against the Kansas City Chiefs in overtime. And then yesterday, he lost to the Vikings and Kirk.
Hey, man.
Overtime.
Kirk is rolling, man. He is
rolling. Kirk
he
can roll me.
Yeah.
He was rolling, but in week 2 he wasn't rolling because my birds took him down. But we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
That was earlier in the year. The first 4 weeks don't really matter.
Okay. Say whatever you want.
Exact situation.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Any Sunday is a given Sunday.
We're talking about the Vikings-Bills game, all right? Let's go through section by section, quarter by quarter of the game, all right?
Them catches were crazy, that's almost saying.
First touchdown, Justin Jefferson touchdown. That was an amazing catch for the touchdown.
That gritty was tough.
And the fake injury was tough.
Just ruined it.
All right, but what about then Singletary scored. Then did he score again, back to back? He scored. I know he scored the first one to tie it up, 17. It's a 7-7. Then I think they went up 14-7. Then I think they went up 17-7. I think.
Yeah, Singletary had 2 touchdowns.
Okay, well, let's jump ahead. All right, it was. The score. They were up, I think, 27-17.
Yeah, they were up 27 to 17 at one point and 24-10 at another point.
Yeah.
They came down.
Choke artist Josh.
The Vikings scored 13 in the fourth quarter to push it to overtime.
They scored a field goal. Then they scored another field goal. So they were down 7, right?
And then they got a touchdown.
And then that crazy touchdown.
Over that Josh Allen fumble. That was.
It was a bad snap.
Okay, but let's segue our way into the next. Okay, you said they got a touchdown, right? Like the safety touchdown, like that situation, right? What put them in that situation, Cash?
The fourth. Okay, no, Cash. You say it.
Man, I wasn't really watching the game, but if I had to say, man, I would just say a punt.
No, the Justin Jefferson catch.
4th and 18. 4th and 18.
Oh, and he put it down to the 1?
No.
That was later on.
No, I'll describe it to you, right?
How did they get to the 1 yard line?
Okay,
so it was Justin Jefferson again, but
Justin Jefferson, right? I think from what I remember, Justin Jefferson, crazy 4th and 18 catch, right? Dude, I was hyped. I think that was around the made it 30. Jefferson, I think the next play he hits a toe tap. That gets him like 15 yards. And then Justin Jefferson runs a slant across the field. He catches the ball. I think that's when he got he hit and lifted up in the air or whatever and drops down. That's like the 1.
Yeah.
Then I think they run it and fall short. And then they don't get it on 4th down. Then it
was like a flag. It was a flag.
Then it was the Bills' ball on their 1 yard line. A terrible snap. Josh fumbles and chokes. They recover the ball, and the rest is history forever.
Wait, so you're telling me that the Vikings got it down to the 1 yard line with 4 attempts.
Mhm.
No.
More
I
like
don't think
five.
so.
More like five. More like five.
No, I don't think it was 5. Was it?
No, like
Yeah, because
What?
the offsides, I guess.
where was it at when it was first and goal? Where was the ball?
It was at the second yard line. Second yard line.
They were at the 2 and they couldn't get 2 yards in 4.
Actually, wait. I think they were on the 1. Then there was the offsides where
Then they got-
Dalvin dropped the ball, and then I think it was like, I don't think it was neutral zone infraction, but the call, it was half a yard and replay 4th down, I think. Then they couldn't stuff it in. I think they like QB sneaked it on the half.
Oh yeah,
yard
the
line.
QB think they were Kirk. Yeah,
Yeah, the half-yard line, and they couldn't get it on 4th. That was bad.
but he's not like Jalen, so he couldn't get it in. He's not
Kirk
like
is
Jalen.
still him though. Kirk is.
If I'm Kirk Cousins right there, Cash, I'm on the 1. Just throw a fade to Justin Jefferson. Like, what are we doing? He carried you all the way down the field.
You know what I'd say? Give it to your fullback right there. Have the O lineman push him in. That's all you gotta do. They just push him right into the end zone. Touchdown. The game would have not went to overtime. Would have been just done. Boom. Like,
It's just crazy because if you watch that game, it's like, okay, you watch the Justin Jefferson catch, right? That was the craziest play I've ever seen live among any sport, right?
Yeah.
Then he comes down and makes another crazy toe tap the next play. Then he gets his team to the next play, 3 back-to-back lead. I think it was 3 back-to-back. Like, that's wild to me. Why is my screen so dark?
Wow.
It was crazy.
I'm looking at a stat right now. Josh Allen led the team in rushing yards.
That is bad.
That's
Between 4 running backs,
that's
bad.
he led the team in rushing yards.
That is embarrassing.
And then Diggs had 128 yards and didn't even score. How are you going to get 128 yards on 12 catches and not score?
That's like a Justin Jefferson catch. I was looking
Because
through his stats.
Davis is him. Gabe Davis is him.
You know Justin Jefferson only has 4 touchdowns the whole year?
Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got 0 in week 2. He got 0 in week 2 because,
He got-
Seriously locked him up. We'll talk about that later.
Wait, did he get? No, I thought he got 1 in week 2.
Pretty sure you guys know.
No, but Justin Jefferson purely gets his fantasy points off receptions and yards. I was looking at this. It blew my mind because you would think like a wide receiver of that caliber gets touchdowns, but he only has 4. He had 3 come into this game. That's crazy.
he had 193 yards. Guess on how many catches?
14, I think.
10.
Well, no way. I
He
thought it
averaged
was higher.
19.3 yards a catch.
That's got to be like up there, like with
19.3.
for at
But
least.
the real, all right, what you gonna say?
What?
I was gonna say the real question is which catch was better, OBJ or Justin Jefferson's?
Oh,
I want to hear Elias's, but I gotta say OBJ. It's gotta be OBJ.
I
OBJ. It's
Yeah,
definitely
see?
it's you see the space. Like, it was 4 for 18. It was an 18-yard throw for Kirk Cousins. I don't know what the down and distance was for OBJ's catch, but it was way bigger than Justin Jefferson's. If the defender had his hands on the ball too, so it kind of helped Justin Jefferson when he hit the ground. There's 3 hands on the ball at the time. OBJ's was crazy.
OBJ's was wild.
It was
We're here. Let's look at this.
Yeah, that's important. But if we're talking about which catch is better, but which catch was more important is definitely Justin Jefferson. Last drive, 4th and 18, he had to get that catch.
If you're
He has
talking
to
about
get
which
that catch.
catch was more important, then it'd be Justin Jefferson.
That's a different conversation though, because
Yes, exactly.
we're talking about the literal difficulty of the catch.
What was a harder catch? One-handed, being flagged, having pass interference, and staying in bounds.
Let's look at this, boys. Let's look at
Odell
this.
Beckham was also falling back too when he
Let's look at this, boys.
All right, they're on the 43. That is a 52-yard throw.
Exactly.
Oh my god!
Pass interference.
Look at that.
He's falling back at the same time and calling.
Let's put it in slow motion for the blind people at home. Dude, oh my god. Are you kidding me?
52-yard throw.
Look at this. Okay, they're at the 10 right here, Paul. I'm gonna explain this to you because we're arguing about this. He's at the 10. He rips his shirt, throwing off his momentum. Let's see. Paul, I don't think you understand. I think he was at the 5, right? The kid pulled his shirt, so he clearly stopped. At that point, Odell just jumped backwards. It's not like he was running. The kid stopped him. He jumped backwards, and he did something unthinkable, unexplainable, unfathomable, Paul. Like, oh my God.
And he stayed inbounds.
Look at this ref. This ref doesn't believe what he just saw. This ref is like, holy hell, I just experienced greatness.
Look at the guy in the back. Look at the guy in the back. He's holding
Look
up
at
his
this
arm.
guy.
He
Oh
probably
my
had the
God.
picture of the year.
And it's
Most overrated wide receiver in the world.
Okay, but do you still think the Jefferson catch was better?
Yes.
Why? Can you explain to me why?
Next segment, college football.
Paul is ducking the question.
Ducking.
Paul just
So
left
my,
it alone.
I think I went for like 3 for 5 this week. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna give my.
You only predicted 5 games?
It's because I only did ranked matches versus ranked matches.
What were your predictions last week?
Notre Dame Navy. I knew Notre Dame was gonna win, but I just picked Navy because but they only won by 3 points. 3 points against a shitty Navy team. Dylan Jeffers, you should be ashamed of your team.
L. Dylan Jeffers. L. Dylan
L.
Dylan Jeffers.
L.
I didn't predict this game, but it was kind of weird. LSU only beat Arkansas by 3. JT Daniels, offensive shit. I'm not really
I think they
convinced
won
on
by
him.
7.
They won by 3.
Oh, all right.
Maryland, Penn State. My Penn State shut out Maryland 30-0. Put us in the top 10 next week. We're definitely in there.
What's Maryland's record?
They were 6-3 before coming into this game.
They were a ranked team.
No, they weren't ranked, but they were 6-3.
Oh, you said ranked team. So I was just
No, I did that team because like in my Penn State, you know. Like,
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Oh, so you're dick eating. I see. I got it.
I'm not dicking. I'm just supporting my team. So when you, yeah, like Chicago Bulls, honey, that's dicking. My bad, bro.
How was I dick eating? I didn't predict it.
Nah. Shut up.
All right.
Next game, Alabama, Mississippi. I knew Alabama was gonna win, closer than I thought. Good job from Mississippi covering the spread, 30-24. UCF Tulane didn't really care about this game, but I predicted UCF to win. They won it. And then the game that shocked everybody: Washington beat Oregon. What happened to Bo Nix? The coach sold that game for Oregon. Coach, if I was an Oregon fan, I would be pissed
Not a
off.
Heisman winner now. He's not going to win the Heisman.
He's not going to be. I'll get to that. I'm going to say who's my Heisman front runner in a bit. But yeah, Bo Nix definitely out of the conversation now.
Just because of that game, he is not going to win the Heisman.
Yes.
He loses to a 20.
Next, I predicted this as an upset. Quinn Ewers did not deliver. TCU beat Texas 17-4, 17-10. Quinn Ewers did not deliver. If he would have delivered, they would have won easily. But now we're going into my top 6. This is my personal. I know other people like probably, but this is what I think. Number 1, Georgia, of course. Number 2, I like Michigan over Ohio State. But Michigan has the best run offense in college football right now. Blake Corum, Heisman front runner. That is my Heisman front runner right now. But in a couple of weeks, Michigan and Ohio State are gonna have to play each other, and then they'll depend for like the 2 and 4 spot. Whoever loses, blah, blah, blah.
I'm putting Ohio State at 2.
Okay. Ohio State at 3, obviously. Number 4, I'm taking TCU after the win against Texas. And then number 5, this is no debate. Tennessee coming off a win. Blowout win to Mizzou. It was a close game in the third quarter, though. 28-24, but they just pulled away for it after that. They scored 40 points in that 1.5 quarter. Crazy game. And number 6, I really don't want to put LSU here because of how their offense played really bad last week, but I'm going to have to put them there. Number 6, LSU. And those are my takes from this week.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get to our main topic. Eagles versus Commanders.
No, Super Bowl predictions. We gotta do Super
Oh,
Bowl
shoot.
predictions.
Yeah, Super Bowl predictions. Calm down, Cash.
That's my
Calm
bad.
down, Cash.
All right. Super Bowl predictions. Let's hear Paul, you up first.
Super Bowl right now as it stands.
No. Not right now.
No, but like,
predicting the
saying.
future. Predicting the future.
Okay.
As in, like, judging, like you have to judge it from, like, knowing that there's 8 weeks left or however many there is.
Okay, I know a lot of people in this podcast. I'm putting my glasses on for this one because I gotta black out the haters. A lot of people in this podcast are gonna say Vikings this, Vikings that. All I know is that my Eagles held them down to 7 points in week 2. Y'all can say whatever you want. I do not care.
Yes.
I do not care.
Yes.
Justin Jefferson was nowhere to be found in that game. They just had him locked up like he was his child, and that's all I gotta say for that. I got my Super Bowl for the NFC East that's going to the Super Bowl. I'm either going to say Rams or Eagles. 49ers or Eagles. If Kyle Shanahan finds a way to make all those players fit in his offense, that's scary. That's going to be the scariest offense in the league.
All right.
And for AFC, I got the Chiefs. That's my.
Oh, wait, Paul. Let me ask you this.
What do you want?
Wait. If the Eagles don't make the Super Bowl, wait, who's making it?
The 49ers.
Okay, that's valid.
That's respectable. That right there is respectable. 49ers are solid.
49ers are a good team.
All right, slogan ban. Your prediction.
Dude,
Also known as Gay Boy.
I'm not known as Gay Boy. It's only to call me that.
All right, let's.
I think it's gotta be. Dude, the Vikings and Eagles. The Vikings look legit. Oh shit. The Vikings look legit. I cannot lie to you. But again,
Can I say something? Do the Eagles look legit?
I'll say they did the potential to be legit and to show that.
So beating a legit team does not make them legit.
No.
Let Logan do his prediction.
No. I think once they.
I'm mute.
You did not mute. I think if they. Okay, listen to this, because this is my prediction, all right? I think the Vikings are a 3 to 4 team. Okay, we're going to talk about this again. If you were to divide, split the skill of every team into fourths, as in, like a 1-4 team is terrible. Not terrible, it's bad. And a 4 out of 4 team is really good. I think the Eagles have played, or not played, they've played a 3 out of 4 team, and they're going to play a 3 out of 4 team in the Packers. Actually, I don't know if they're a 3 out of 4, but that's going to be a difficult game for the Eagles, right? Whereas the Vikings just played a 4 out of 4 team in the Bills and they beat them. Do you disagree, Paul? Unmute your mic.
I'm not disagreeing, but going out of that statistic, we're in the hardest division in the NFL right now. We have 2 3 out of 4 teams and then 1 2 out of 4 team.
Oh, Paul.
And you can't disagree with that.
The NFC East is filled with bums. Nobody is good coming out of the NFC East. I'm calling it.
Because the Cowboys are not going to compete. Is that what you're trying to say?
First round exits for all NFC East teams, except for the Eagles, because they're going to get the first round bye.
Where the Seahawks going to be at?
Seahawks are going to be the 3 seed.
We'll see about that, buddy.
All right. Logan, who do you think is going to make it in the AFC?
But no, it's not AFC. Bills, Chiefs. I can literally do a coin toss. I think Juju being out, he literally might be out for the rest of the season. Like he got hit hard.
He just had a concussion. It's just a concussion.
Dude, that was damn near death. Dude, that was bad. I would say, I don't know. I'll give it to the Bills. I can see them getting revenge from last season.
All right, Mr. Eli Manning, let's hear it.
Listen, first of all, the Eagles are making it to the NFC Championships. Here's why. Because they possess something that only a few NFL teams have this year: consistency.
Thank you.
They're consistent all the time.
Okay, can I say something?
Remember when they just beat the Colts by 3 or whatever?
Can I say something?
It's going.
No, shut up, bro. Let him talk.
Exactly. It's either going to be the 49ers or the Vikings. Between them, I think it's going to be the 49ers. Like, they're actually scary. If they know how to use their weapons right and Jimmy G plays decent, I think they can beat the Vikings.
All right.
Exactly what I was saying.
AFC team, let's hear it.
AFC. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Like I said, if they stay consistent.
Step, bro. That's not step, bro.
And then for the other person, I think if this team fixes their crap, I think it's going to be the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, that's a good pick. That is a good pick.
All right.
Baltimore Ravens versus Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, wait. Okay, Elias, you said the Eagles have possessed consistency, all right?
Yes.
What I would like to say is that second half, I'm not sure if their second half team is consistent, all right? Because they can drop 30 in the first half and outscore you 30-0. But when that second half comes, that offense is not as hard hitting as the first half.
But that defense is on locks. That's why we win our games.
Because the second quarter is murder ball. So we're
that
up
is
by like
murder ball.
14 points. And then in the third quarter, what do? We run the ball to burn the clock. And then, like you said, during like the Cowboys game, where the Cowboys are sort of coming back, and then Jalen Hurts drives the Eagles all the way down to the end zone. Who do we find in the end zone? Devontae Smith. And then it might be a touchdown at garbage time, but when the Eagles need it, they always find it.
I can't remember.
And our defense is clamps. Our defense is clamps.
defense-
All I gotta
alright.
say. Our
Let's get
defense
to
is
my
clamps.
prediction.
You know, once Jordan Davis comes back, our run defense is going to be 10 times better.
And the only reason that Cowboys game was close because of Lane Johnson got injured.
Exactly.
Was it?
If you see that, if you see that's the only reason that game was
Michael
so close.
Parsons
And
do nothing.
All right. Let's get to the
Nothing.
predictions since we're running low on time here. We still got one more subject coming up. NFC, I feel like there's two teams that can come out on top. Quote me on this. The Vikings are that first team. No doubt.
That's a valid pick.
That second team, though. Not
Yeah,
to be biased.
It
It is the Seahawks, baby.
That's so biased. If you call me a biased
Literally
fan,
so
that is so biased. You cannot say that.
just lost to Tampa, bro.
All right. Just Vikings. But AFC.
So biased.
AFC.
Oh.
I am calling this out of the AFC. The Bengals are scary in the playoffs.
Oh my.
Joe Shiesty is him. He knows how to get it done in the playoffs. So does Evan McPherson,
I agree with
the
that.
greatest kicker in postseason history. And all right, I'm calling it Bengals versus Vikings.
That would be a
LSU versus LSU?
that would be a good game. That would
Joe
be-
Shiesty's bringing it home.
Okay, let me say something real quick before we move on to the next topic. All right. I can't remember which game it was. I think it was either Cardinals or Lions or both. I think those games were close, right?
For the
Yeah,
Eagles?
both of them. Both of them were to field goal. Both of them were
Yeah,
field goal.
both of them were close because of the second half team. Because the second half offense could not put it together. I think it was a Cardinals game actually.
It was both. It was both.
Because they play so well in the second quarter that like the third quarter is like there's such a margin in between offense. It's
They can't
it's
catch up.
inconsistent. It's
Look what
inconsistent.
happens when they played the Texans. It was halftime, and then we would come out in, third quarter, fourth quarter. I forget what the score was, but I know the Texans always
It
scored.
was
Like
14-14. It was 14-14 and a half.
All right. Let's get to this last topic. We got about 2.5 minutes to get this done.
Secondary on lock.
Here we go. Tonight's game coming up in about 10 minutes. Eagles versus Commanders. Paul, what are your
I'm
predictions?
going last. Fuck this. I'm going last.
All right,
All right. Slogan. What are your predictions?
I think it's a close game. I think what I just said, not necessarily I'm gonna contradict it, but I'm gonna go in the complete opposite. I think they come out slow. I think
just 2 minutes.
I think they come out slow. I think 17-14 Eagles. I'm taking Eagles. They score 14 out of those 17 points in the second half.
Cool.
All right. Go cash.
All right. You know, man, I'm the man. I'm a man of the people. You know.
He's gonna say Washington.
Hey, I feel like it's going to be a close game also, but upset night. Commanders upset the undefeated Eagles 31-27. Put it down, mark it, bet anything. Commanders are coming out on top in this game.
No.
Mr. Elias, what are your predictions?
I think it's going to be all the way through up the first quarter. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Eagles are going to be like up 7-0 going into the second quarter. And then the end of the second quarter, I think it's going to be 17-14 Eagles. And then after that, I think it's going to be a slow game all the way throughout the third quarter into the fourth. And then I think one team is going to have to make a big play to gain the momentum. Whoever makes that big play is going to win. And ultimately, I think it's going to be them Eagles, baby.
What's your ending score prediction?
Go Birds.
24-14.
All right, Paul, we got about 45 seconds for your prediction. Let's hear it.
Before I start, Logan, can you name me a better cornerback duo than Darius Slay and James Bradbury?
I'm not sure what
You can't. Next
but
one.
None.
Let's go.
Paul, we got about 30 seconds. Let's
I don't
see.
even-
Earlier, I was all with this all close game narrative. No, Freak that. Eagles coming out blazing hot second quarter. We're going to score 14 points. Final score prediction, 28-10, and 2 touchdowns from the birthday boy, Devontae Smith.
Wait. Before we end the podcast, I think Devonta Smith and Miles Sanders.
2 touchdowns from the birthday boy. 2 touchdowns.
All right.
Go Birds!
Thank you,
I'm
everybody. Paul, we need you. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching this. Thank you for watching the first ever Foreign Freshman podcast. I'm your host, Cash Evans.
I'm Elias Hansen.
I don't know where Paul is, but I'm soaking bands. We out.
Thank you, everybody.